Hi everyone. Welcome to our channel where we bring you tips, tricks and the latest research on how to improve your social skills and make the most of every conversation. Today, we're going to talk about the art of small talk and how to start a conversation with confidence and style. But first, let's look at some surprising facts. Did you know that the average person spends around 6 years of their life talking? That's right, 6 whole years. And research shows that 60% of the time, people prefer to talk about light and easy topics rather than deep and serious ones. So, what do you think is the secret to small talk success? How do you turn a simple greeting into a fun and interesting conversation? Well, that's what we're here to find out. And we've got some amazing tips and tricks to share with you, backed by science and research, of course. So, are you ready to take your small talk skills to the next level? Let's dive in. Understanding small talk. Small talk might seem like a no-brainer, but there's actually a lot more to it than you think. In this section, we're going to explore the ins and outs of small talk, including what it is, why it's important, and the different types of small talk you're likely to encounter. Small talk is defined as casual, light conversation between people who are getting to know each other or simply passing the time. It's the type of conversation you have with a stranger in a queue, a colleague at a networking event, or a friend of a friend at a party. So, why is small talk so important? Well, researchers have found that small talk can serve several key functions, including building rapport, establishing a connection, and breaking the ice. By engaging in small talk, you can quickly get a feel for someone's personality and interests, and start to build a relationship with them. There are several types of small talk, each with its own purpose and function. Some of the most common types include weather talk, current events talk, and polite conversation. By understanding the different types of small talk, you'll be able to engage in more meaningful and enjoyable conversations. Tips for starting a conversation. Starting a conversation can be daunting, but with these tips, you'll be a pro in no time. Whether you're at a party, a networking event, or just waiting in line, these tips will help you strike up a conversation with anyone, anywhere. Tip number 1, finding common ground. One of the best ways to start a conversation is by finding common ground with the person you're talking to. This could be a shared interest, a similar experience, or even a common problem. By finding common ground, you'll quickly build rapport and establish a connection. Tip number 2, ask open-ended questions. Another great tip is to ask open-ended questions. These are questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no and encourage the other person to share more about themselves. For example, instead of asking, "Did you enjoy the party last night?" you could ask, "What was your favorite part of the party last night?" Tip number 3, listen more than you talk. It's important to remember that a conversation is a two-way street. By listening more than you talk, you show the other person that you're interested in what they have to say and create a more enjoyable and meaningful conversation. Tip number 4, show genuine interest. People can sense when someone is not really listening or when their interest is not genuine. So, be sure to show that you're truly interested in what the other person is saying by making eye contact, nodding, and asking follow-up questions. Tip number 5, find the right moment. Finally, it's all about timing. Find the right moment to start a conversation by looking for natural pauses or breaks in the conversation. This will make it easier to jump in and start chatting. Tricks for making small talk more interesting. Small talk doesn't have to be boring. With these tricks, you can make your conversations more interesting, engaging, and memorable. So, are you ready to take your small talk game to the next level? Let's go! Trick number 1, share your stories. Everyone loves a good story, so why not share one of your own? Whether it's a funny anecdote, a travel adventure, or a life lesson, sharing your stories is a great way to connect with others and make your conversation more interesting. Trick number 2, ask for opinions. Asking for someone's opinion is a great way to get them talking and show that you value their thoughts and insights. Try asking questions like, "What do you think about the latest trend on the internet?" or "What's your favorite way to spend a Saturday?" Trick number 3, find humor. Humor is a great way to lighten the mood and make a conversation more enjoyable. Try to find the humor in everyday situations or bring up a funny joke or meme to share. Trick number 4, show your enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is contagious, so show your excitement and interest in what the other person is saying. This will not only make the conversation more interesting, but also show that you value their input. Trick number 5, talk about something new. Finally, try to talk about something new and exciting. This could be a new hobby, a recent trip, or a new book or movie you've recently discovered. Talking about something new and fresh will keep the conversation interesting and dynamic. Overcoming shyness. For many people, shyness can be a barrier to starting a conversation and making small talk. But, with these tips, you'll be able to overcome shyness and become a confident conversationalist. Tip number 1, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can help reduce stress and anxiety, which can be contributing factors to shyness. By practicing mindfulness, you can calm your mind and focus on the present moment, making it easier to start a conversation. Tip number 2, prepare ahead of time. Preparation can go a long way in overcoming shyness. Before a social event or gathering, try to think of some conversation starters, questions, or stories you can share. This will give you a sense of confidence and make it easier to start a conversation. Tip number 3, focus on the other person. Shyness often stems from a fear of being judged or rejected. By focusing on the other person and showing genuine interest in what they have to say, you can put your fears aside and enjoy the conversation. Tip number 4, take small steps. Starting a conversation can be overwhelming, especially if you're shy. So, take small steps and start with brief, casual conversations with people you're comfortable with. As you gain confidence, you can gradually expand your social circle and start chatting with new people. Tip number 5, get out of your comfort zone. Finally, push yourself out of your comfort zone and try new things. The more you expose yourself to new social situations, the easier it will become to start a conversation and make small talk. And, last but not least, here are some bonus tips for making small talk even more effective and enjoyable. Be yourself. The most important thing when making small talk is to be yourself. People are attracted to authenticity, and by being genuine, you'll create a more positive and enjoyable conversation for both yourself and the other person. Listen actively. Active listening is a critical part of making small talk. By truly paying attention to what the other person is saying, you'll show that you value their perspective and thoughts, and they'll be more likely to open up to you. Keep it light and positive. Small talk should be light and positive. Avoid discussing controversial or negative topics, as this can put a damper on the conversation and make the other person feel uncomfortable. Use humor. Humor is a great way to make small talk more interesting and enjoyable. But, be careful to use humor in a way that's appropriate and doesn't offend the other person. Know when to wrap it up. Finally, it's important to know when to wrap up the conversation. Be mindful of the other person's cues, and politely end the conversation when the time is right. Well, there you have it. With these tips and tricks, you'll be well on your way to becoming a small talk master. Whether you're looking to start a conversation, make small talk more interesting, or overcome shyness, these tips will help you achieve your goal. Don't forget to like and share this video if you found it helpful, and leave a comment with your own tips and tricks for making small talk. And, if you have any questions or topics you'd like to see covered in future videos, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.